I've already spoken about Naba, it becomes more and more difficult to say something because everything has been said more or less. But actually I think I would in fact start by with my felicitation to him on his birthday, and I think it's a very happy sign that he's having his birthday, 60th birthday, and at the same time INO is now really set to take off, and I think with that he should also take off, and I think he will need much more energy to make that a real success, and it's of course a little bit of a pity that it took so much time for this thing to fructify, because I know that it's for the last 12 years that this thing has been sort of on the anvil, and for various reasons, environmental reasons, funding, things go slow in agencies and so on, it has taken really a very long time. But I think we have come to this juncture which, as I said, just coincides with this landmark of his, and I hope things will really take off. And I must say, as Professor Narasimhan pointed out, I think he is the ideal man for the job. He has I think in this country, if there's one person who is qualified for the job, it's him. And I think that has been, recognized by people for quite some time, and he is very justifiably the INO spokesperson. But let me say something. I of course didn't have that much interaction with him to start with, because we were in a different group. I'm from the accelerator-based experiments group in TIFR, and we were doing experiments using bubble chambers, and then we went into the LEP, L3 experiment and so on. And of course we knew about, we were all very familiar with the other group, with the cosmic ray group which was there, and the experiments that were being done, and the proton decay experiments were very high profile. And I think we all took great pride in the fact that this was one of the first proton decay experiments really, and these results came out, and although, as was mentioned, no, my phone is not ringing. Maybe somebody else's. So and so we then worked together basically from the time that we thought of going into the CMS experiment. Our group was there, which had in fact joined the CMS in I think 1993 or so, and after that some other groups, Delhi University, BRC, Punjab University joined, and also I think just around the same time, very shortly after, after our joining, the high energy cosmic ray group of TIFR joined. That was probably in 94 or 95, and I think it was very good that that we all got together, and TIFR had these two groups, the so-called EHEP and the so-called HECR groups, which both joined CMS, and and after that we had a lot of discussions with the CMS people, and in particular trying to figure out what we would like to do, so far as our hardware contributions would be for CMS. And I think it's very nice that Jim Freeman is here. We've been interacting right from the beginning, I think 95 or 96 or something. I still remember the first time he and Dan Green and others came to the IOP in Bhubaneswar. And there was some, discussion about this hadron colorimeter and so on, and all the, beam test activities took place and so on. And I think part of the reason why we went into this hadron colorimeter was firstly this was something which we felt sort of confident about we could do here, and I think since there was expertise in particular with the cosmic ray group for the D0 experiment, that they had dealt with the scintillators and this thing, so I think that certainly had a bearing on the choice of detector that we went in for. And then after we had decided that, then we had to sort of set up a team here, and the Punjab University group and the two groups in TIFR decided to take up the job for this hadron outer calorimeter, and the very natural choice for the technical coordinator for the Indian side was Naba Mondal. I mean, he had experience in that, and he was known to be effective and had the expertise, and in those days, I mean, we then started with that, and the whole that the R&D and beam tests and so on to actually figure out how to do the readout, how many segments in each tile, all these kind of things had to be done, and all those things were set up here. And of course, we had enormous help from our Fermilab colleagues, and and all that was done actually basically with Nobo as the technical coordinator. And I still remember then, of course, these experiments at LHC, they have this very stringent criteria that before you can actually start, production of a detector system, you have to go through this engineering design review, this so-called EDR, and well, that takes quite a bit of effort, because you have to collate everything, prove everything. You have to not only show that physics part was already sort of understood, I mean how it will be done, but that you are actually capable of doing the things, how you will do it, the whole works, and that again fell under the coordination of Nobo, and it was then carried out successfully. I guess sometime in 1998 or so, I think it was done. And I still remember then we had to go there with all these, quality assurance sheets and so on, how each and every step would be, quality tested, etc. And I think that was a big job, and it just went through in the first shot. And then we started making these things, and I think we made some prototypes, the so-called pre-production prototypes, etc. Sent them to CERN. The thing got validated in the beam test, and then the production sort of started. And at that stage, I think then Nobu got more into INO, and he then actually asked after some time that if he can be relieved from the technical coordinatorship, and we reluctantly, I must say, we said okay. I mean, no, he has other interests which are also very pressing. So he then left that part of the job, but he of course continued. By that time, then he was the contact person and leader of the HECR, the CMS group. And so we continued with that, and I must say that both Professor Ganguly, who was the India CMS spokesperson up to 2002, and after that 2002 to last year I was the India CMS spokesperson. We were very fortunate to actually have him as a very senior and expert member of the India CMS community. And I used to at that time, in fact, sometimes wonder, he was doing all this production related job for the CMS hadron calorimeter thing, and at the same time he was also taking care of the D0, that physics thing, and the students were there, and then the INO also, he was basically the person who was representing that and going around and meeting people, giving talks and convincing and writing up documents and coordinating things. Of course, as I said, he then in fact requested and gave up the technical coordinatorship of the hadron calorimeter chamber production, but still all this he was involved in. It was a great effort on his part, and I think he did it extremely successfully. Uh, okay, let me just say, I mean, something, just little, okay, personal sort of impressions. We have known each other, of course, since the time he actually joined, which was, I think, 78 or so, and I think we always had very good sort of vibes together. And the course of the experiment, okay, CMS in particular, after that, things were there. And the course of work and, how things should be done, etc., etc. Sometimes we have had some, pretty tough discussions, but I must say that I think neither of us ever had that feeling that okay, the other is a bad guy. I mean, it was, yeah, fine. You have different viewpoints. You think something should be done in a different way, and so you of course discuss things and you then come to a conclusion that okay, that's fine. But as we see, we are good, great friends, and we continue like that. So I think we've had some okay, good times together, and he has been an extremely effective physicist, a sort of complete physicist, if I may say so. And so I come back to where I started from, that it's just the right time for this felicitation, and I really hope that that conditions are set, because it's not only up to one person, it's also the kind of support you get from your community, from your collaborators, and I think most of all from your funding agencies, that then okay determines speed and success of any big project. So I hope that will now come, and I would really love to see him present some first results from INO in a short time, as short as possible. So so I'm afraid that while his wife may have been very accommodating in the past, etc., she may have to continue to be accommodating for some time in the future, and all for the good of the cause.